France. A name that conjures images of grand cathedrals, vast vineyards, and revolutions that shook the world. But long before the world knew its kings, its painters, or its armies, France was a landscape. A powerful, shaping geography that carved the very destiny of its people. To understand France, we must begin not with its history books, but with its rivers, plains, mountains, and coasts. For it is the land itself, the shape of the soil and the rhythm of the seasons, that gave rise to the French civilization we know today. Stretching across over 551,000 square kilometers of Western Europe, France is the largest country in the European Union and one of the most geographically diverse. Bordered by Belgium, Luxembourg, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, Monaco, Spain, and Andorra, France stands at the meeting point of Europe's great cultural and climatic zones. It is a bridge between the temperate north and the Mediterranean south, between the Atlantic west and the Alpine east. National Park the Hexagon, a nation shaped like a symbol. The French often refer to their country affectionately as El Hexagon, the hexagon, because of its roughly six-sided shape. This iconic geometry is not just poetic. It speaks to France's natural borders, each side guarded or outlined by distinct geographical features that have offered both protection and openness throughout history. To the northeast, the lowlands of Flanders ease into Belgium and Luxembourg. To the east, the mighty Rhine River and the snow-capped Alps form a formidable barrier with Germany and Switzerland. In the southeast, the Mediterranean Sea laps the shores of Provence, while the rugged Pyrenees mark the natural divide from Spain. To the west, the Atlantic Ocean rolls against the long, curving coastlines of Brittany and Aquitaine, and to the north, the English Channel separates France from the British Isles. These borders are not arbitrary lines, they are thresholds of civilization, defense, and cultural exchange. And within them, France contains nearly every geographical feature found on the European continent. Snow-capped the mountains, fortresses of stone and snow. Let us begin in the highlands, in the east and south, where France touches the sky. The Alps, France's highest and most majestic mountains, form a great natural wall along the eastern frontier. Towering above the clouds, Mont Blanc, the tallest peak in Western Europe at 4,808 meters, stands as a frozen titan on the border between France and Italy. But these mountains are more than cold summits. They are the guardians of alpine valleys, glacial lakes, and medieval villages like Chamonix and Annecy. The Alps have always been both barrier and corridor. In ancient times, they protected Gaul from invaders, yet they also allowed Hannibal's daring march with elephants. In modernity, they host both climbers and commerce, ski resorts and rail tunnels that connect France with Switzerland and Italy. Southwest of the Alps lies the Massif Central, an ancient, volcanic highland that dominates central France. Unlike the jagged Alps, the Massif Central is a land of plateaus, extinct craters, and rugged isolation. It is older than history, and its weathered rocks hold the memory of a time before the Alps even rose. In the south, the Pyrenees rise as a natural frontier with Spain. Steep, wild, and less tamed by tourism than the Alps, the Pyrenees are home to remote villages, Basque culture, and the high paths that once carried pilgrims on the Camino de Santiago. To the northeast, the Vosges Mountains provide gentle, wooded elevations, while the Jura Mountains near Switzerland form rolling limestone ridges rich in biodiversity and pastoral life. These mountains shaped France's regions, not just in how people lived, but how they moved, traded, and thought. Mountain ranges were once borders between languages, dialects, and customs. Even today, France's 22 regions carry echoes of the landforms that birthed them. Waterwave the coasts, from Atlantic wilds to Mediterranean calm. From the cliffs of Normandy to the beaches of the Côte d'Azur, France's coastlines are as diverse as the rest of its geography. The Atlantic coast, stretching from the northwestern tip of Brittany to the Spanish border, is rugged, vast, and deeply tied to maritime tradition. The Bay of Biscay brings fierce storms, strong tides, and some of the richest fishing grounds in Europe. Brittany, a peninsula with Celtic roots, juts defiantly into the sea, its rocky coasts battered by waves, its interior dotted with megalithic stones and ancient forests. Here, the sea is not just a resource, it is a way of life. Further south lies the Aquitaine Basin, with long, sandy beaches and vast pine forests. The dune of Pilot, Europe's tallest sand dune, rises like a golden wave near Arcachon, overlooking the Atlantic surf. The coastal cities of La Rochelle and Bordeaux have long histories of trade and seafaring. To the north, the English Channel coast is shaped by cliffs and capes, most famously the chalky Etretat, and by the history of war and peace. Here lie the beaches of Normandy, where the tides once carried Viking ships and, much later, Allied troops. In the southeast, the Mediterranean coast tells a different story. The Provençal shore is dry, sunny, and fragrant with lavender and thyme. The French Riviera, or Côte d'Azur, is a world of glamour, but also of ancient ports like Marseille, the oldest city in France, founded by Greek settlers 2,600 years ago. The Mediterranean brings not just warmth, but a slower rhythm of life. Olive groves, terraced hillsides, and turquoise waters define this part of the French soul. The great river valleys, France's liquid arteries. No geography shapes human settlement like rivers, and France is blessed with many. Its rivers have fed cities, watered fields, powered mills, and formed natural highways for trade and conquest. The Seine winds through Paris, the beating heart of France, before emptying into the English Channel. Along its banks, empires have risen, revolutions have roared, and poets have dreamed. The Seine is more than a river, it is the symbol of France's elegance and endurance. Further west, the Loire River is the longest in the country, stretching over 1,000 kilometers from the Massif central to the Atlantic. The Loire Valley, known as the Garden of France, is home to vineyards, chateaux, and fertile plains that have long nourished the French people. In the southeast, the Rhône River thunders down from the Alps, cutting a deep valley toward the Mediterranean. It is a river of energy, literal and cultural. The Rhône fuels hydroelectric dams and cultural crossroads. It links Lyon, France's gastronomic capital, to the southern port of Marseille, bridging the continent with the sea. The Garonne, flowing through Toulouse and Bordeaux, powers the southwest and is tied to France's wine heritage. The Dordogne, Lot, Saône, and Marne, each river carries its own story, its own role in the epic of the land. Sheaf of rice, the plains and basins, France's agricultural heartland. Between the mountains and rivers lie the Great Plains, the true breadbasket of France. The Paris Basin dominates the north, a vast, rolling plain of chalky soils and ancient seabeds. It is here that French agriculture found its strength. Wheat, barley, sugar beets, and rapeseed oil cover the fields in a patchwork that stretches to the horizon. To the west lies the Armorican Massif, an ancient range worn down to hills, which blends into coastal plains. In the south, the Aquitaine Basin and Garonne Valley are centers of viticulture and mixed farming. Further east, the Saône Valley and Burgundy region are famed for their wines and cheese. These plains and lowlands are not just functional, they are beautiful in their bounty. The very idea of La France profonde, or deep France, is tied to these gently undulating rural landscapes where church spires rise above sunflower fields and stone farmhouses cling to ancient lanes. Globe showing Europe, Africa, overseas territories, France beyond Europe. Though we speak mostly of European France, the country's geography extends across the globe. France's overseas territories, from Guadeloupe and Martinique in the Caribbean, to Réunion in the Indian Ocean, to French Guiana in South America, expand the nation's geographical footprint into tropical rainforests, coral atolls, and volcanic islands. These regions add climatic and ecological diversity. French Guiana is covered in Amazon rainforest. Réunion is a volcanic island with high-altitude peaks. New Caledonia features coral reefs and canic heritage. They are geographically distant yet legally part of France, voting in elections, sending representatives to Paris, and reminding the world that French geography is not just continental but global. Some behind small cloud France's climate zones, where north meets south. France's position between northern and southern Europe creates a tapestry of climates. The northwest, including Normandy and Brittany, has an oceanic climate, mild, wet, and temperate. Rain falls evenly throughout the year, and summers are moderate. In the central and eastern regions, including Paris, the climate becomes continental. Winters can be cold and snowy, summers hot and dry. This climate favors grain farming and resilient crops. The Mediterranean South experiences long, hot summers and short, mild winters. Rainfall is rare in summer but heavy when it comes. This region, including Nice, Marseille, and Montpellier, enjoys over 300 days of sunshine per year. The Alps and Pyrenees have mountain climates, cold, snowy winters and cool summers. Snowfall supports ski industries and alpine tourism, while the valleys remain productive in the summer months. And then there's microclimates, like the Mistral wind in the Rhône Valley or the Seine effect in the Alps. These local phenomena shape everything from architecture to agriculture. Compass geography as destiny. France's geography has always been its greatest silent ally. Its rivers enabled internal unity. Its mountains protected its borders. Its coast connected it to the world. Its plains fed generations, and its diversity fostered resilience. The land did not just host the people, it shaped their culture, their economy, their politics, and their dreams. Every revolution, every invention, every war, and every peace treaty has been influenced, subtly or profoundly, by the contours of this land. As we move forward in this series, from geography to history, from the earth to the events upon it, remember, it is in the soil, the rivers, the mountains, and the air that the French identity was born. The land came first. The nation followed.